Hi, this video is going to be over ratio and rates. So the first thing I want to do is actually go over what a ratio is. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division. So for example, 3/4. So this is a ratio. It looks like a fraction. Fractions are ratios. It's comparing two numbers. We could say 3 girls to 4 boys, or 3 apples to 4 oranges. So it's comparing two different numbers by division. Now a rate is a ratio that compares two different units by division, like miles per hour. So like the speed limit, 50 miles per hour is an example of rate because it's a ratio and it's comparing two different units. It's comparing miles and it's comparing hours. So another rate, it doesn't have to be always per hour. The rate could be 60 miles per 3 hours. So it could look like that, 60 miles per 3 hours. This is still a rate. It's written as a ratio and it's comparing two different units, miles and hours. Okay, so that is what a rate is. A unit rate is a rate expressed as a quantity of 1. So like 50 miles per hour is a unit rate because we're only doing per hour, per 1 hour. 60 miles per 3 hours is not a unit rate. But if we wanted to change that to a unit rate, if we have 60 miles per 3 hours, and we wanted to change this to a unit rate, all we would need to do is divide them. 60 divided by 3, and we get 20 miles per hour. And now it's a unit rate because you see that bottom number is 1. So to find a unit rate, all you do is simply divide it, okay? So ratios can be written in 3 different ways. We want to make sure we know how to write ratios all 3 ways. 3:1, 3:1, and 3:1. So these are the 3 different ways to write ratios. 3:1, 3:1, and 3:1. So you can write the word 2, you can do the colons, or you can do the fraction part. So ratios, they show comparisons, like I said at the very beginning, like boys to girls. If I were to say the ratio of boys to girls is 5:2, this means that there's 5 boys for every 2 girls. So if there were 10 boys, there would be 4 girls. So every 5 boys, there's 2 girls as well. So if I wanted to, since this is boys to girls, if I wanted to do boys to the whole class, I could do 5 to 7 because 5 plus 2 is 7, which would give me the whole. So this is boys to the whole. If I want to do girls to the whole, it would be 2 to 7. So this is girls to the whole, okay? Because there's 7 in all. Now, okay, I want you to give this ratio in 3 different forms. 8 roses to 24 flowers. So 8 roses to 24 flowers. In the 3 different forms, we write 8 to 24, we write 8:24, and we write 8/24 as in a fraction. So those are the 3 different ways we can write that ratio. Now this ratios can be expressed in simplest form. So just like we reduce a fraction, we can reduce a ratio. 8/24 can be reduced down to 1/3 because we can divide them both by 1/3. I mean, we can divide them both by 8 and it reduces down to 1/3. So then you can rewrite it all the 3 different ways as 1 to 3. So 1 rose for every 3 flowers. So a unit rate, remember, is when the denominator is expressed as 1, simply just divide them. So for example, if we have 395 miles per 5 hours, and we want to write this as a unit rate, all you need to do is divide this, 395 divided by 5, because we need 5 to become 1. So 395 divided by 5 is 79. So this as a unit rate is 79 miles per hour. Okay, again, with the unit rate, all you do is simply divide it. It's okay to have a decimal on top when doing a unit rate, okay? It's okay to have a decimal on top when doing a unit rate. Another unit rate example, 120 words per 3 minutes. We want to know words per minute. So all you're going to do is simply divide this. 120 divided by 3 is 40. So 40 words per minute. So that is a unit rate because it's per minute, per 1 minute. 40 words per minute. Okay, again, 5 inches of rain in 30 days. So what you want to do is you want to divide this out. 5 divided by 30, again, it's okay to have a fraction or a decimal on top. 5 divided by 30, I actually want to leave it in fraction form, so 5 divided by 30 is 1/6. 1/6. So 1/6 inches, and then per day, because anytime you divide them out, it's always going to have 1 on the bottom. So 1/6 inches per day, because we divided 5 divided by 30, and I just left it in fraction form instead of putting it in decimal form. So 5 divided by 30 is 1/6, and then inches per day. So that is unit rates. So hopefully you learned a little bit about ratios and rates. Thanks.